Hello, everybody. Just a really quick recap on our lesson for today. We talked about intercepts. Intercepts is kind of a word that means to go through. So if you have an x-intercept, it's where a graph crosses or goes through the x-axis. So I drew a picture, x-intercept. Boom, x-intercept. Ooh, y-intercept, because that's the y-axis. X-intercept. So we have x-intercepts where it goes through the x-axis, and we have a y-intercept where it crosses the y-axis. What occurs is at these spots, the height is 0. The y is 0. The y is 0. So for x-intercepts, that's where the y value is 0. And at the y-intercept, that's where the x value is 0. Okay, that's really going to be important later on in our course. So we'll talk about that more. So that's pretty easy vocabulary. We then took a look at our book. And in our book, we talked about, okay, can you draw a line through these 2 points? And if you did, it could look like anything, but here's one example, okay? And it has an x-intercept there and a y-intercept there. So then we drew another one. This graph. That's possible. That's a function. We could have that. Now it would have 2 x-intercepts there and an x-intercept there, and we have a y-intercept there. C was kind of unusual, lots of different graphs, but I thought it'd be kind of interesting to draw a graph like this, where it has no x-intercepts, but one y-intercept. Then we talked about if it's a function, can it have more than one y-intercept? And we looked at this one, and we thought, well, we could draw something like this, but that's not a function because it fails the vertical line test, or you have 2 y's for 1 x, not a function. So if it has to be a function, you can never have more than one. You can only have one y-intercept. Okay, so then what we did is we also started to finish our graph. So we did our cutouts, our final bit of cutouts. We put our linear graphs, we cut them out and put them here. So you get all your cutouts, and we taped and pasted our cutouts here. I think there was 3 of these. Graphical behavior, we talked about whether they are increasing, decreasing, domain and range. These are obviously going to be straight. They don't have a max or min. They can be increasing or decreasing. Domain and range are oftentimes all real numbers. And then we drew the exponential. I think we had some exponential. We taped on these. We talked about how they are a curved line. They will not have a max and a min. They can be increasing or decreasing. The domain is going to be all real number, but the range is not. Okay. Then finally, we got to the homework. And we started the homework, which was on page 49 and 50. We did a little vocabulary, and then on the practice, we needed Desmos to do some of these. Okay, so that's your homework assignment. That's a recap of the lesson. If you have any specific questions, come see me.